Why is it so much easier to show up for other people than it is to let them show up for you? If you've ever downplayed your birthday, avoided celebrating a big win, or felt uncomfortable being the center of attention, trust me, you are not alone. Welcome back to the Higher Alignment Podcast. I'm Mintu Lam, Executive Burnout Coach, and I help high performers heal burnout, reconnect with themselves, and create success without constantly proving their worth. In today's episode, I'm sharing a surprising lesson that wedding planning has been teaching me. What started as organizing a wedding has turned into a deep look at why so many of us struggle to receive love, support, and celebrate from the people around us. By the end of this episode, you'll understand why being seen can feel so uncomfortable and how learning to let people show up for you might be one of the most important parts of healing. Let's dive in now. So for those of you who don't know, I am in the thick of wedding planning right now. It is, well, at the time I'm recording this, it's mid to end of June, and we're getting married at the beginning of September. And yeah, I'm obviously a type A. I'm I'm a bit neurotic, I'm a bit of a control freak, I'm a bit of a perfectionist, and I've been dreaming of this day since I was a little girl. So to say everyone's like, just don't put a lot of pressure on it. Don't stress yourself out. And it's like, okay, cool. That's like the equivalent of saying, like telling someone just think positive when they're spiraling in negativity. Like, it's like, you can say, don't stress yourself out, just enjoy every moment, but easier said than done. And I've been reflecting a lot of this and making some content about this on Instagram. And, a lot of brides seem to be feeling the same way. And so I was thinking about why wedding planning gets so stressful, and I realized it's because of the visibility of it, okay? And so I told this story recently about how when I first met with my bridesmaids and, asked them to be bridesmaids, they were so excited. And they were like, we need to plan a wedding shower and a bridal shower and a bachelorette and all these things. And my initial reaction is, no, 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 we don't need to do any of that. Like, just the wedding's good enough. And they kind of looked at me like I've been friends with these girls since I was 19, 18, and they were like, no, 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 we're doing these things. And they're so sweet because it's almost like it's like our day. It's like not even just me and Thomas's day. It's like me and the girls' day because, man, we've been through some shit together. So it's like, it's a win for all of us, but they're like, no, we're doing these things, like, because they're good bridesmaids and they love me. And I was like, I remember that first day, I was like, okay, like, I'll think about it. Like, it was so overwhelming for me to even think about. And so now we're in this planning process, of going through the motions. And so, of course, they insisted that we're doing a bachelorette. So we're doing one that's very small. It's just me and my bridesmaids. And then my mother-in-law, wanted to throw me a bridal shower. So she's throwing me a bridal shower too. Okay, cool. Now, though, what has been really hard for me, aside from the planning part of it, because yes, that is stressful too, organizing vendors. And people are like, okay, you could just hire a wedding planner, but like, if you think Mintu Lem's gonna hire a wedding planner, like that's probably, yeah. I really enjoy this stuff at the end of the day. But as I've said multiple times, good things are stressful on the nervous system too, right? Good things, exciting things. Anything that requires a lot of energy is going to be a little taxing on the nervous system, right? Even if it's a good, exciting thing. So I've had to put things into place for me, schedules, boundaries, all these things to kind of keep myself in check in this process, which is one thing. So there's that side of the stress. But the other side of the stress is the visibility part. And again, it's having people show up for you simply for being you. Okay, so for instance, now I'm having this bachelorette, which is next weekend. I have a wedding shower in July. In Vietnamese culture, we have something called a tea ceremony, which is like before the wedding. It can be the day of. We're doing it the day before, where the groom's family comes to the bride's family, and it's essentially a celebration of merging families. And we do a little bit of a ceremony with our elders. So we're doing that as well too. And I'm having to send out invites for all of these things. And man, does it make me cringe and want to die every time I have to do it. And like, I know that like the more notice, the better. Tell people, like, I know when I'm on the receiving end of those things, I'm like, tell me now, tell me what you want me to wear, tell me where to be, let me get it in the calendar now. Like, I never question showing up for people with those things when I love them and they're important to me. And I want the details. Give me the details. Give me the invite. Like, it helps me be more organized. But every time I go to send a damn invite, my stomach seizes up, my chest sinks in. I try to think of reasons why I don't need to invite these people. And like, There are people I like the tea ceremony is one thing because it's, like, very, like, family, whatever, but even for, like, my bridal shower, there were so many people I didn't invite at first because I not because I didn't want them there, I did want them there, but because I was like, "Oh my god, I have to invite one more person." Like, I have to ask one more person to show up for me, and man, it made me feel so sick, and then I talked to my mother-in-law, she's like, "Yeah, invite them." Like, I realized talking to Thomas and my mother-in-law and sometimes my mom stresses me out a little bit if I'm being honest, but, like, my girlfriends, they're like, "Yeah, just send it. You're overthinking it. Not a big deal. You're overthinking it." Like, everyone's telling me that from a loving place. They're not judging me, and I need people like that in my life because I tend to be more anxious. But again, it's this idea of having people show up for you just for being you. And what it's highlighted for me is I still deep down have this belief that I need to earn people's love. Okay, if you're an executive who's craving more clarity, happiness, and a sense of real inner peace in your day to day, make sure you hit follow so you never miss an episode. This show is here to help you lead, succeed, and actually feel good while doing it. And if something resonates today, give it a like and share it with someone else who could use a little bit more calm in their life too. It's really, really fascinating. And because the other part of it too is people can just say no. Into I'm busy. I can't go. We have a vacation plan. The kids got soccer. Like, whatever. People can say no. And, I think what's also important that is like in a conscious state, I know like if they can't come, it's not a big deal. But I do think deep down that if they don't come, there's part of me that still wonders, like, oh, am I not important enough for them to be there? And that's me being really raw and vulnerable with you guys as far as like um just a little girl who still wonders if like people really love her for who she is. That's all I can chop it up to. So when you're asking people to show up for you or inviting you to these things, it's almost like deep down subconsciously to this little girl, little Mintu, it feels like, oh, I have to see if I'm important enough. Am I important enough for them to come? Right? But in a conscious state, again, kids got soccer, they got families, they got other weddings, like they got all these things going on. I know this, but that's why I cringe every time I have to send out an invite. And I was thinking about how this just applies to, anything we celebrate in life, a wedding, a promotion, a birthday, any of these things. Like I've heard so many of my friends go, I'm not a birthday person. I'm not a birthday person. And in my mind, I think like, well, people have different experiences around birthdays. So maybe if you had something like traumatic happen during around one, like no judgment, I get it. But also that's your fucking day. That's your day. That's the day you were born. And yes, I know other people can have the same birthday as you, but like that's your day. That is your day because you were born on that day. So if like there's any day you think you should really celebrate, which by the way is only once a year, once out of 365, it's not like it's a once a week thing. Like, yeah, you should celebrate that. You should celebrate that moment of you coming into this world and you being here. To me, if anything, that's a great um that's a great, not ritual, but a great, what's the word I'm looking for? Celebration, whatever, a great moment to celebrate you and what you've been through and you getting to this point and even getting older. Like getting older is a blessing. How many people leave this earth way too early? How many people don't get to see their 20s, their 30s, their 40s, their 50s, 60s, whatever, 80s, 90s, 100s? Like it's a blessing to get older. So like what a time to celebrate. One of the biggest struggles for high achievers is they can't tell whether they're burnt out or just overly tired. That's why I created the High Performer Stress Assessment, which will assess exactly what your mind and body are struggling with and what you need to start feeling more balanced, grounded, and happy ASAP. It only takes 2 minutes to complete, and you can find the link in the show notes below. But again, so many of us just have this deep-seated fear of being seen and having people love us for who we are, and we justify it through things like, "Oh, it's not a big deal." Like, "Oh, people are busy. Oh, I don't really want to celebrate." We come up with all these reasons in our head as to why we don't need to honor the moment. When again, when you're on the other side of it, you're like, "Oh my god, yeah, I wanna honor the moment." Like, again, if I was a bridesmaids in one of my girls' party, I'd be like, "Fuck yeah, we're doing this. Oh, what are the dresses?" Oh, like, I'm excited, and for the record, they all have been excited for me. Like, of all the things I've asked them, they've never given me any pushback. But I just yeah, this visibility wound is crazy. And again, that post I made on Instagram, I had so many brides saying, "Thank you for putting this into words. Thank you for putting this into words." But again, I truly believe the person you choose to marry is one of the biggest, not one, the biggest decision you'll ever make in your life because they are directly going to impact your health, your success, your businesses, your relationships. They're going to directly impact all of those things. So it is a big deal. And obviously, I know we all hope we only have to do it once, get married once. And for everyone, that's not always the case. And that's okay too, because you get to rediscover yourself on this journey. But again, it is a day that should be celebrated, and learning to let people love you and learning to let people show up for you is also really big too. We talk a lot on this podcast about um receiving help and being open to getting help. And, that's one thing I've had to lean into a little bit. Even with Thomas, with planning this wedding, he said to me a month or two ago when I was first really stressed out about building everything and I hadn't quite caught on to how stressed I was coming off. And he said, Mintu, if you burn yourself out planning this wedding, I will cancel it and we will go elope in Mexico. And, he said it in a, like, I mean, business way, but he was saying it from a loving place because for him, it is not worth it to see me in this state. Like, that ruins the fun of the wedding. He doesn't want that for him, for me, for us, right? So it was in that moment I had to really check myself and how I was planning this. But, even with him, he has constantly asked me to, what can I do? What can I do? And so I've had to, again, regulate and then give up some of that control and pass on things to him that he genuinely can take care of. He can take care of the suits. He can take care of his suit. He can take care of his shoes, like all these things. I want to be involved in all this. He can take care of that. He's taking care of how we're organizing the liquor. He's taking care of, some of the things that we're doing at the wedding, different activations. Like if I give it to him, he'll run with it. But it's about me letting him show up for it too, even though it's our day. It's about letting him help me and letting him be in this process because, yeah, for some reason I've just felt this need to own it. And even from him, who's equally a part of this as well too. If you're a high achiever, you probably feel the exhaustion that comes with always pushing and carrying the load. And here's the honest truth. Burnout doesn't fix itself by working harder or pushing more. You're not meant to just survive your success. You're someone who leads with impact and depth and intention, and you deserve to feel calm and connected while doing it. So imagine showing up present for your work and your personal relationships, feeling calm and grounded instead of constantly stretched. If that's what you want, this is exactly what we do in the Higher Alignment program. Book your assessment call through the link in the show notes, and let's get you back to balance and back to feeling like yourself again. So with that being said, what I've had to do in this process is really lean into the truth of when I'm feeling like I'm asking for too much or I'm scared to be seen. I've had to lean into the truth. So how do I do that? One, I regulate. You guys know regulation's the answer to everything. So I go take a walk, I go hug Thomas, whatever. And then I got to go get to the bottom of it and ask the truth. And so when I'm feeling like I'm asking too much of people, I ask my mother-in-law, I ask Thomas, I ask my bridesmaids, and I ask for their take on it. The people who I know really love me. And they're usually always the first to check me, like, no, Minzu, we're happy to be there. Send the invite, send this, tell us what you want. Like, this is for you. We want to be here. And this is why it's important to not just listen to your own thoughts all the time. Because a lot of those times, those thoughts are not good. They're not helpful. They make you feel like you're stuck in a box and that there's things wrong with you. Like 9 out of 10 times, that's what your thoughts are doing, especially if you're dysregulated. If you're regulated, they're usually not that bad. But if you're dysregulated from planning a wedding or whatever, working towards a promotion, whatever the case is, those thoughts are really skewed. So ask the people around you who love you. Let them help you. Let them regulate with you. Let them be part of the regulation process for you. Again, Thomas is so grounding for me. He's so just like, man, I think every anxious woman needs a calm, grounded man. Like that's the magic there, right? Like he's just so good. And so instead of me trying to figure out all the time, I need to talk things out loud with him. And sometimes he wants to fix the problem for me right away. And sometimes I just need him to hear me. And so we're really good about communicating that with each other. But again, you have to lean into that. And remember, at the end of the day, a wedding in this instance is a celebration of love. So that's the whole reason people are coming together. They're not coming together for any other reason than to celebrate love. So that means loving you as a couple, and that means loving you as an individual too. But if that feels uncomfortable for you to be in that light and to be seen that way, don't take that as a sign to shy away from it. Take that as a sign to lean into the process and to allow love to show up for you in a different way. And again, I think we can do that with weddings. I think we can do that with birthdays. I think we can do that with promotions, with having children. Like, find reasons to celebrate you. That's what this life is about. It's not about downplaying it. So when you get to 80 or 90 years old, you can be like, oh, I never celebrated a single birthday because I didn't like to. Like, even if you do have some trauma around it, even if you have some PTSD around your birthday, heal that. Heal that shit so you can get back to celebrating your day and what brought you into this world. That's a beautiful moment that should be celebrated, right? Take that ownership upon yourself because life's too short. It's just way too short to be caught up in what everyone else thinks about you, especially when they just want to love you.